Problem 955. In this particular case, we're doing a p-value approach to hypothesis testing on interns. And so we have 60 interns, and we have 44% of students who had unpaid internships receive full-time post-graduation job offers, compared to the 72% who had paid internships. So in part A, you're going to test whether the percentage is 44% or it is not 44%. So the null hypothesis is that the probability is 0.44. The alternative probability is not equal to 0.44. We do the calculations and find the p-value. In this case, the p-value winds up being quite high of 0.349. Since the p-value is greater than the level of significance, do not reject HO. So there's not enough evidence that the proportion of college unpaid interns that receive full-time job offers post-secondary is different than 44%. So you're saying that you would never properly say that it is 44%, but you can't say that it's not, if that makes sense. So for our purposes, you would use the phrase, do not reject HO. Now, in part B, we have some different numbers. In part B, we assume that 35 out of the 60 unpaid interns had full-time job offers post-graduation. And what are the conclusions? So in this particular case, we have in part B, in the previous one we had 30. In this case, we have 35, so it went up by 5 out of 60. We recalculate in part B. I'll scroll down if that will help out. So we simply change the probability to 35 out of 60 rather than, in this case, the previous one, which is 30 out of 60. We calculate a new p-value, and the new p-value is 0.025, which the software will do for you. And it'll also even draw the conclusion. In this case, we will reject HO. The reason we reject HO is because the p-value is less than the level of significance. So in this case, there is evidence that the proportion of college unpaid interns that receive full-time job offers is different than 0.44. So the conclusion is not the same for part A and part B, because those extra 5 postgraduate students receive full-time job offers.